Hey, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to Sunrider Liberation Day, return once again, hopefully. This is the second part, and well, we are on the road to save the universe. Probably, I don't know, well, something like that. Let's go. Oh. All she could hear was the pounding of his heart. Sweat dripped down his eyebrows, tickling his nose, and filling his mouth with the taste of sulfur. In a surreal moment, he heard his own voice over the intercom. All hands, prepare for anti-rider combat! Shortly afterwards, the dull drumbeat of the Sunrider's flak guns echoed through the tunnel. The hull cracked as shrapnel from intercepted missiles harmlessly bounced off the ship's armor. Every passing moment felt like torture. Shields had grown so accustomed to being in command that the idea of being helpless trapped inside the hull churned his stomach. He closed his eyes and prayed that Appa would be safe. But what would the Kaito Shields on the floor of the bridge right now do? Did he even care for her as he did? No. Suddenly Appa's shrill voice on the intercom broke his thoughts. All hands, brace for impact! Shields did his best to grip the walls of the tunnel, but was still thrown completely flat on his face against a massive shockwave. The tunnel bent and fuses burst, covering him with sparks. He knew this sensation. A hit that size could only mean that a packed battleship's quantum torpedo has gotten past their flak net and scored a direct hit. God damn it, what the hell was that boof on the bridge doing? He whipped the blood from his lips and pulled himself up. Smoke seeping from the gate, meaning that the hallway outside was now on fire. Shields cautiously opened the gate by a silver and peeked outside, on to come face to face with a raging inferno. Time to become the hero, maybe. A crewman pulled flame retardant hoses from the walls and struggled to put out the fire. Shields spotted a technician lying on the floor nearby, his uniform matted with blood. The fire approached him, threatening to swallow him whole. If I jump out now, I can still save him! I have to do something, but it will mean blowing my cover! Obviously! Save the crewman! I'm still the captain of this ship. I can't hide in this hole like a coward when my crewmen are risking their lives out there. With that, Shields pushed the gate open and left the tunnel. Captain, where are you? I'm not going to let a member of the ship die! Captain! Ignoring Claude's protests, Shields pulled a hose from the wall and battled the flames which were fast approaching the wounded technician. When Shields finally reached him, he knelt down and checked his vitals. Still alive. Good. Shields hoisted the technician up and carried him towards the other crew. Captain! A deckhand's eyes widened in shock as the captain of the ship emerged from the flames and passed him an unconscious crewman. Make sure he gets to sickbay. That's an order, sailor. Sailor, we are not on that type of ship, man! The deckhand straining to control, and he snapped to attention. Sir! Shields gritted his teeth. He had to lead the damage control operations here. Without warning, the ship shook again. This time he heard a sound of mechanism sawing as if something was cutting through the hull of the ship. What the Oh, that thing! What the hell is going on? Did someone else actually travel in time as well? Suddenly, the ceiling gave away, and the hunter drone dropped down, spraying the hull with bullets. Shields barely had time to take cover behind some debris as two crewmen were cut down by bullets before his very eyes. Counter drones. The hell? Shh! The arrival of the hunter drone triggered another memory. No, he couldn't afford to get distracted here. He had received some instruction about invasion drones during his training, but he had figured they saw limited practical applications after never encountering one on the field. Indeed, this was the first time he had ever seen them deployed during ship-to-ship operations. Shit! This just makes my life that much more complicated, if it wasn't complicated enough already, right? If I don't do something here, then that drone's going to massacre everyone on this deck, but right now I'm totally unarmed. Shields looked around and saw a pistol lying beside a fallen crewman. It would take far more than that to down the mechanized hunter drone, but it was something. Grab the pistol and attack the drone. Grab the pistol and fall back. I don't think that drone can be destroyed with just a freaking pistol. Now that's... Alright, let's fall back and see, maybe there will be more weapons somehow. No matter how he considered this tactical scenario, a group of crewmen and the captain armed with nothing but pistols were no match for mechanical hunter draw. They had to perform a tactical retreat. Shields shouted orders to the other crewmen. Everyone, fall back! Find cover! The drone will tear you apart! Sir! Shields and the repair crew quickly fell back, coming to an airlock gate. This should hold the drone back. Once everyone ran through the gate, Shields pounded the close button, dropping an 8-inch thick wall of steel between themselves and the drone. Everyone dropped to their knees in relief. Shields took the opportunity to survey the situation. Any of you have heavy weapons? No, sir! Fire control crew C reporting for duty. All we have is our sidearms. The closest armory 300 meters from here. Come on, let's go! Just as she spoke those words, an ear-shattering explosion shook the airlock. The steel gate dented inwards as if it had just been pounded by a titan. Wait a second. What if that actually happened when we were in our time, but there was another Shields traveled back in time, but he actually failed what he was supposed to do? Oh man. And did I just make it even more complicated? The drone was still armed with an anti-armor cannon. This gate wasn't going to hold it forever. Come on everyone, move, move, move! The crewmen and Shields ran as fast as their feet would carry them away from the gate, but it was too late. With another chest-bursting explosion, the reinforced steel gate burst behind them in a massive fireball. Duck and cover! Shit. Shields slammed a young repairman who looked fresh out of school against the wall just as the drone sprayed the hole with lead. He looked around. Was this their end? If only they had a grenade or something. Captain! Suddenly he saw Claude running down the hall with an enormous bazooka over her shoulder. That's the way! Shields peppered the drone with small arms fire, drawing its attention away from Claude. Claude knelt down to one knee to stabilize the bazooka and took aim. They don't call me poop rockets for nothing! The rocket shot out from the front of the bazooka, directly knocking Claude flat on her back, and missed the drone, spectacularly digging a massive cavity into the ceiling of the hallway. God damn it. She hissed through his teeth. You idiot! Just then, a massive steel beam fell from the ceiling thanks to the force of the rocket's explosion and pinned the drone down. Eh? Shields took the opening to roll to where Claude was lying on the floor and pick up the bazooka. He took aim and scored directly on the drone's control tower. And it disappeared. Somehow. Nothing left after that drone. Which is kind of weird. With a satisfying explosion, the drone's brain bursts, spewing fire and steel in every direction. But we can see that. The husk of the now dead mechanical beast finally lost power and went limp. With an enormous exhale, Shields dropped the bazooka to his side. The other crewmen poked their heads out from cover in disbelief. Slowly, their expressions turned from white terror to exhilaration. Captain, you did it! You saved us! All! Captain! 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 Shields suddenly realized that the crewman chanting his name in the hallway may not be in his best interest. Anyways, what are they here? Fire crew C! He looked around, now searching for the best way to beat the hasty exit. I have to get back to the bridge now. Good work, Fire crew C! Did you hear that? The captain said we did good work! Of course he did! We risk our cheeks we risk our necks every day to keep this ship safe! I'm gonna tell everyone in the mess hall about this. Shields and Claude beat it while the crewmen laughed amongst themselves. He looked back. Despite knowing his cover, he smiled in spite of himself. He had no regrets. T-minus 53 hours before the Hey! Before the Liberation Day massacre, 70 hours. Hey! Don't auto-skip this. 17 hours before that little girl enters the mainstream. Okay. Shields had enough of this nightmarish situation. He stood and emerged from the cargo crate, taking in a huge breath of fresh air. He had just spent the past 6 hours coped with ups inside the small cargo crate with Claude. The ship had shook and jostled as if engaged in evasive maneuvers and took hits, until he felt as if he was going to suffocate against Claude's voluminous body. For what seemed like an eternity, he suffered indignity after indignity, while Claude seemed to thoroughly enjoy every moment of his suffering. I don't understand this guy. It would be nice. Feeling thoroughly violated, he stepped out into the outside world, feeling like a man re-emerging into society after a long prison sentence. The ship had now returned to condition yellow. For now, it appeared the battle had concluded. After checking that the situation was clear, he pulled Claude from the crate. Come on, the coast is clear. We need to regroup with Ava, let's go. The two of them made their way to the bridge. Crap, we better tread carefully. If the other kind of shields is still in the bridge, as hell will break loose when I wander in. Claude, poke your head in the bridge and tell me if my other self is inside. Alright! Claude leaned into the bridge and looked around. Sure enough, he saw Ava. She saw Ava! Occupied while speaking with the other shields. Shit. No, go, Captain! The commander's busy talking with your other version. Damn! Shields pondered his options. I would have foreseen something like this happening. Maybe she left us a clue somewhere else. Come on, I have an idea where to search next. Shields lead Claude back up to deck 0. Shields stopped in front of the executive officer's quarters and swept his command ID on the door's reader. To his relief, the gate opened. Good, looks like Ava prepared ahead of time. He snuck in and found a note on the opposite side of the door. Pursuing a possible lead, we'll render us later, Godspeed! But Ava, you forgot to tell me just what this lead was. Shh, this doesn't help me much. He stepped back outside and spoke to Claude. Looks like Ava's onto something, but doesn't quite know what yet. We'll have to proceed without her for now. You know, I don't know about that woman, Captain. Shields ignored Claude's doubts. If I recall correctly, that little girl is in sickbay right now. Let's kill her! Sorry, the Liberty suffered hit to its shoulder, maneuvering Wolf during the battle in my timeline. If history is still playing back the same way as before, then the other Kaito ships would have admitted her to the sickbay just to be on the safe side, despite her not sustaining any major injuries. Unfortunately, this is the best chance we'll have at capturing her. We'll just go to sickbay right now and take her. Actually, there's another problem. There's also currently another Claude Trillia in sickbay right now, tending to Shigara as we speak. What? Isn't it obvious? My old self exists in the timeline as well, piloting the Bianca and serving as the ship's lonely doctor. She wouldn't just disappear because I'm time warped here. Shields rubbed his head, so there was another wrinkle in this plan. Well, you're past self's a time travel too, right? So why don't you just walk up to her and explain the situation? Sorry, Captain, but there are certain reasons why I can't do that. It might be related to the fabric of the universe steering right in half. In fact, I think it would be best if I remained out of sight of my past self for the duration of my stay here. For all our sakes. What the hell is Claude getting at here? Captain, aren't you also forgetting about something else? If we remove the help from the battle tomorrow, then we might not even be alive for the victory celebrations. Don't worry, I will pilot. What was that rider called? Oh my god, I don't remember. Like some statue. And it's a freaking popular statue, well known around the world. Liberty? Something like that. But we'll have to upgrade it to be more powerful. To be actually powerful in battle, because it's useless in battle at the moment. Claude's right. If we prevent her from that little, you know who, from entering the midstream to restore control of Fontana's ships tomorrow, we'll effectively be signing our own death warrants when we're all slaughtered tomorrow by the very packed ships which were supposed to reinforce us. Unless... if we were somehow able to send an encrypted transmission to Fontana now, warning him of the Trojan, then he could potentially start devising a countermeasure right now. At the very least, he could pull his forces back so that the prototypes can't use his ships against us. There's an encrypted FTL communicator in my office, I could use that. One more thing, if that little girl just vanishes from the sickbay, it's only a matter of time until someone realizes what's happened. If the other Kaito Shield hears that his love... Please don't. It's not anyone's love, okay, Claude? She's not my love. I'm Kaito Shield and she's not my love. I never loved her. Has just up and vanished. He's going to launch a ship-wide search for her. Don't worry, he won't. He won't, because I wouldn't do that. We'll just take that risk. We have to kidnap that little girl as soon as possible and there's no time waste. There's a certain body double sitting in our break right now who looks almost identical to that little piece of crap. What? Oh, I get it! We have that one of prototypes locked. That's true. Huh. You know what? I would actually... No, that's not a good idea. However... Think... Okay, if she knows that we are from the... from the past but future... From the future that is our past... What would she do? If we would tell her everything, and besides that she probably knows that Claude is a god and time traveler and so on. Both options are... Let's take the risk to kidnap her. Understood, Captain! Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to go to the sickbay and distract the timeline's Claude, while you sneak in and wheel Shigar's medical trolley away. You'll take her to crew quarter 8, which is currently unoccupied, and wait until I arrive. I'll try to beat a fast retreat as soon as I can. Once we've regrouped, you'll run to the mess hall and call the other Kaito Shields out, distract him while I sneak into my office and contact Fontana on the FTL com. We'll then regroup back at crew quarter 8 and relocate that little girl to maintenance room D4. Do you get all this? Understood, Captain! Alright, good luck. T-minus 52 hours before the Liberation Massacre, 16 hours until that little girl enters the midstream. Shields enter the sickbay. He has to distract these timelines Claude long enough for his partner to nab that little girl out from under her nose. He grimaced to discover that that little girl was living just 2 beds away from where Claude was working in her office. It was going to be harder than expected. But he had an idea. He pretended to walk over to that little girl and stand over her, like he was concerned for her health, but he wasn't, because I wasn't. As expected, old Claude sniffed out his presence like a canine and creeped up behind him. She wrapped her arms around him from behind and put her face on his shoulder, tickling his ear with her pink wavy hair. This woman wears too much perfume. Oh, Captain, I'm afraid Shigar's still sedated. No one cares. You'll have to wait just a few more hours until she wakes up. She doesn't need to. I can understand why you'd want her back on her feet as soon as possible. I don't care about her, Claude. Now actually would be a good idea, like, Claude, the only person I care about is you. And she went, what? And then, like, listen, go to my room and wait for me there. I'll come as soon as possible. And BAM! The situation is under control. I think that would work out with her. Desperate look on the maiden's face as she sneaks into her quarters at the loneliest hours of the night for one last tryst before the final battle. Don't stop. Please stop! That little girl doesn't know if she'll make it back. Unfortunately, she made it. Just in case, I want to feel Captain inside before. I can imagine it all playing out like I'm watching a movie. Okay, here's my chance. She'd slammed down as if dejected and let out a long sigh. I just don't know, Doctor. Eh? Don't know what? Well, I'm actually here for counseling. You're the ship's acting medical officer, right? So does this also include looking after the mental health of the ship's crew, as well as their physical health? Well, yeah, that's certainly true. I've been wanting to talk to you, Doctor. It's about that little lying there, but I can't talk about it here, in front of her. Of course, let me just get in my office and pull the cover closed. You can tell Claude anything, Captain? Claude practically pushed shields into her office and drew a sliding wall closed, giving the both of them privacy. Yes, it worked! Now, what's the nature of the counseling you need, Captain? Well, it's just that things are moving so quickly. It's been just over a week since we kissed for the first time. And she's already talking about things like marriage and children. And, you know, I think I should run away. Whenever she talks about how many babies she wants to have, I have to wonder, is this really the life I want for myself? I'm ashamed to even look at myself in the mirror, Doctor. I can't believe I'm having these doubts right now. I can! Oh, Captain, don't you worry about things. It's completely normal to have unexpressed doubts when your partner advances the relationship too quickly. In fact, it's only inevitable because of the enormous amount of stress you two are under right now. But I'm certain I don't want to be with her, okay? All she cares about is her bakery. I don't even know if I'm good at baking bread. I'm a starship captain for crying out loud, Doc. I worked my ass off for this commission, but to just up and retire early for a bakery? But whenever she talks about that Rudy bakery, she gets that dreamy look on her face and I just end up going along with it every time. Where's my input, Doc? Lately, I feel like I'm being railroaded down a certain path without then saying what I want. It's like all my choices have just up and vanished. Before this, I used to be a free man. I used to be able to make command decisions. I used to be able to rip up rulebooks. But right now, I just feel like I've been chained to the doghouse. Oh dear. After the battle, why don't you try to talk to her about this, Captain? The root cause of your problems with the little girl is most likely the stress of the coming battle. Because you're both instinctively afraid of what may happen, the little girl may be rushing things ahead of what she may normally be comfortable with as well. Alright, Doc, I'll try that. Meh. Claude leaned in with a gentle smile and rubbed sheets back. I'll go like, hey Claude, how about after the battle? I leave that little piece of crap behind, and we run away somewhere together. Ah, yes, Captain. You as Doctor. Huh? Sounds good, right? You have a lot of your shoulders, Captain. But don't forget, if things don't work out with her, there's always a lovely doctor in your sick bay, willing to alleviate your worries. Obviously, that's the choice you should well, not eventually, but that's the better choice. Better choice. Even if she was a traitor, she still moved back in time and is helping you to repair things. She's a better choice. Casually hitting on your mentally distressed patients. Doc, you're absolutely the worst. Anyways, that should have been enough time for the distraction. I better beat a hasty exit out of here. Just as Shields was about to call it quits, he spotted a strange-looking hollow next to him on Claude's shelf. All of the hollows on board the ship were now standard issue Alliance stock. However, this hollow clearly looked to be of a different make. Now, what do we have here? For some reason, I have a feeling there's something important on that hollow. Maybe it's related to memories I've temporarily lost. But do I risk blowing my cover by trying to steal it? Leave the sickbay without the holo. Try to steal Claude's holo. Okay. Think this through. We know. I think, actually, I'm pretty sure there was something about that holo before the return thing. So, but we could actually also ask the Claude that traveled back in time with us about the holo. However, the thing is our captain, so he, as I said, probably won't be able to get the holo because I don't think Claude actually traveled in time with that holo. So, if my theory is correct, we should take it. That holo could contain something vital to restoring the rest of my memories. I've got to get my hands on it. She'd suddenly leaned forward and buried his head in her bosom. Alright, Doctor. Thanks for the chat. I feel a little better now. Shh, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Oh, Captain! Claude smiled ear to ear as she took the opening to stroke his hair. Her attention was roughly diverted as Shields reached backwards with one hand and swept her holo off the desk. He hit the holo behind him as he stood. I should head back to work. See you around! And time, Captain! Let me open the cover! No need, looks like you have a lot of work to do in your office. See ya. Shields opened the sliding door himself and left Claude in her office, closing the door behind him. As he walked out, he confirmed that their operation was a success. He emerged out of the sickbay and mischievous grin plastered all over his face. Yes! As he walked through the crew quarters 8, Shields activated the holo and searched through its contents. Now let's see what our past doctor has been up to. But now that I think about it, that holo is probably filled with porn. His blood went cold when he saw what was inside. From what he could deduce, there were hundreds of message logs inside the holo containing Claude's reports on what was occurring on board the Sunrider ever since she first came on board, as well as detailed instructions from the prototypes, and a medical report proving beyond the shadow of a doubt that that little girl was indeed a prototype. Suddenly more memories played back in Shields' head. I have come to suspect there is a great deal of information that our chief medical officer is hiding. What do you mean? I believe Claude was actually the one who has been relaying our movements to the prototypes. Shit, I remember now. And I remember as well now. Claude's been working for the prototypes all along. He searched through the remaining data inside the holo. Finally he came up a file which only contained a cryptic message. The future can only be saved by destroying everything. Well, that sure sounds ominous. But what exactly has been? I had to hurry back to the future Claude and confront her about this. With that, he quickened his pace to crew quarter 8. Shields knocked on the ostensibly unoccupied crew quarters while the coast was clear. He tapped the intercom and whispered, "It's me, open up." The door opened and Shields slipped inside. You're back. As you can see, the plan went exactly as planned. He saw that little girl tied up to a chair, still unconscious from the seduction. Despite successfully kidnapping Shigara, that little girl, weirdo, Shields had no cause to celebrate. Doc, you're gonna have to explain yourself. He pulled out the holo. I found this in your old self's office. You've been communicating with the prototypes all this time, haven't you? There's a message on this holo giving away all your movements to the ME and even a medical report which you wrote completely invalidating the other report you gave us that little girl was not a prototype. It's all true. I was aligned with the prototypes during this time frame. But that was me in the past. Poor Claude's turn and you leave now. I'm fighting for the good guys. Why were you working with prototypes during this time period? A simple alignment of interests, that's all. I sought to rally the galaxy around you, just like the prototypes. But after the Liberation Day massacre occurred, I realized our interests diverged. That's when I left them and took matters into my own hands. The prototypes wanted what? Yeah, they sought to make you the leader of humanity, but to control you as a puppet, so that would rule in your stead, but Let's just say that plan never quite panned out due to division within the prototypes themselves. That's quite a lot to take in. I was fine with helping the rebels accomplish that, but then the massacre happened. That doesn't get you off the hook yet. I also found this inside the holo. Let's open the final file and show it to Claude. The future cannot be saved by destroying everything. What does this mean? Looks like you finally discovered the hard part of this mission. It's pretty complicated to explain, but the skinny of it is, basically, if you were to succeed in this mission and thwart the liberation and massacre, both this universe and the past universe where we come from will collapse and cease to exist. As it turns out, the space-time continues really sensitive to time paradoxes and resolves them quite forcefully. Collapse. You mean we'll all die anyways even if we win? Then what the hell's the point of any of this? You're thinking like a human. No, you will simply be wiped from existence. Dying is a natural phenomenon which must inevitably happen to all life forms, but is an entirely different concept from never existing at all. You traveled here from a future in which the liberation massacre occurred in order to prevent it, but if you succeed in your mission, the Kaitoshits who traveled back in time would cease to exist, as the massacre would now never take place. So then, who would be the man who stopped the massacre? A true logical conundrum. In other words, a time paradox. So then, is the future really impossible to change? The future can be changed, that's why I brought you here. At the end of this journey, you must make a choice. Either you stop the liberation massacre from occurring and avert the tragedy which befalls upon everyone, and destroy this universe and the universe you came from, and replace them with the new universe you create with your decision, or let the massacre occur. Accept the tragedy. This universe will remain untouched and content with your timeline. The universe you know will continue to exist, for the better, or worse. You are telling me, if I go through with this, everyone I know will vanish from the face of the universe, but then a new universe will copies of those same people we created. That's the gist of it, yeah, and that is the reason why I brought you here. The key here is that the law of causality, does everything in its power to resolve time paradoxes, and it does that by deleting the universe where the paradox occurs, and then creating a universe which can then logically continue to exist from that point on. In this case, you and everyone in this universe, as well as everyone in the universe where the massacre occurred, would be wiped from existence, thus eliminating the time paradox. But then No, never mind. I had a thought, but never mind. But then a new universe, where the massacre never occurred would be born, and everyone would still exist in the universe, completely oblivious to the fact a massacre even occurred, or that there was a desperate mission to prevent it. Then we can still serve everyone by creating a universe where the massacre isn't prevented, but simply never existed at all. Now we're understanding how this all works, Captain. Basically, in this circumstance, I intentionally sought to create a time paradox in order to manipulate the law of causality into destroying the universe you don't want and to creating the new you do want. Well, it was pretty drastic, but it's not like there's anyone out there who can stop me, so it's pretty convenient. This little quirk that the law of causality has. I've been using it to create and destroy universes for... I forgot I'm immortal! Who knows how long I've been like this. Anyways, now that your choices have been laid out in front of you, I want to watch you choose Kaitoshits, hero of the galaxy. That's the entire reason why I brought you here. All of this is so I can watch you more. I want to watch you run around fighting desperately against impossible odds. I want to see the tears in your eyes when you fail, the euphoria coursing through your minds when you're victorious. The bigger the stakes, the more tortured your dilemmas, the mightier your enemies, the more I want to see you fight. Because it brings me so much pleasure seeing you in action. Claude's entire body flushed bright red as she squared her legs. I think I might have come a little. Good, you bastard. She thanked me, just like always. Come to think of it, was there ever a moment when she wasn't playing with me like a fool during the whole time I've known her? Cause I'm through with being your plaything. We're in this too deep now. We have to keep working together. Well, that's actually an easy choice. Yeah, good call, Captain. I knew I could count on you.
It's not too bad. You've had once in a lifetime chance to change the future. Isn't Claude such a generous god? But before you get excited with the knowledge that you have a deity on your side, you should now understand why I can't use my powers willy-nilly. It'd be a pain if I were to accidentally wipe out a universe or two from existence by causing an unintended time paradox myself. Every use of my power must be carefully planned in advance, so that they bring about consequences I want. The results otherwise would not be pretty.
So basically I can't count on her to pull me out of the fire using her powers anymore. Alright. Nothing productive is going to come out of fighting amongst each other. Whatever it is that we're going to do from now, we have to work together to accomplish it. As if to make matters worse, that little girl began to stir in her sleep. Shields sharply inhaled in concern. Shit, how much longer is that girl going to be sedated for?
4 hours. With a full dosage, she's going to be sound asleep for a full 8 hours.
Suddenly Claude froze.
Never mind.
Doctor, what do you mean, never mind?
I forgot that in this time I actually gave her a half dosage of sleep pills, so that she would wake up early enough to consummate her love for her captain that night before the final battle.
Shields nearly collapsed at Claude's mistake. What do you mean you forgot? I thought you were supposed to be a god!
Yeah, well, when you've lived for as long as I have, there's just so much to remember. How would I be expected to recall such a tiny little detail like that?
Then how much longer do we actually have until she wakes up?
Maybe until about now?
Okay. As if on cue, she sleepily opened her eyes.
Captain. What's going on, Captain? Why am I tied up to this chair?
Sigara's eyes darted around the room while she struggled against the ropes in a panic. Shit! For now I've got to calm her down. Oh, don't worry, I'm here. I protect you. Offstand and Shields felt at a loss. His usual collected demeanor fell apart. Random words merely leaked from his mouth as he spoke to her in a daze. I don't like you. He had felt her die in her very arms, and he didn't care at all. When her spark left her body, a demon had awakened in him, because someone awakened it, and a demon willing to burn the entire galaxy in order to avenge her, which is of course a lie. Despite being a spy, despite betraying him, despite murdering countless Alliance leaders. Shields never loved her, of course. That's true. Never. He loved Ava, and she still is being loved by him. That's how it works. And that's exactly how the Shields in this universe feels about her. Hey, calm down, listen to me. Yeah. Knelt down in front of her. Despite waking up tied up to a chair, the sight of her lover's face managed to calm her fears.
What is it, Captain? Admit, this is quite a strange way of waking up after the doctor's visit. But you wouldn't do anything bad to her, would you? I trust you.
Well, I'm about to do something important, but no matter what happens, I'll protect you, because this time I'm going to save everyone, including you, but that's not really the point here, you know. Alright, here I go. The truth is, you are... She could never finish his sentence as exactly at that moment the gate to the crew quarters closed in smithereens, momentarily blinding everyone inside. In a flash, Marines piled into the room. By the time Shields had recovered his vision, he was completely surrounded by the squad of armed troops pointing their rifles at him. Shit. Wait a minute. He looked around in confusion. Claude had somehow vanished from the room. Did she use her powers to escape? Before he would produce another thought, the Marines grabbed onto him and pushed him out into the hallway. T-minus 50 hours before the liberation of the massacre, 14 hours until the little girl enters the mainstream. Well, that's kind of problematic. Well, basically we ended up in a really troublesome situation. So for now, let's end the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And see you in the next one. Bye bye.